Welcome, fabulous Pulse Equine practitioners joining us live, as well as anyone joining at a later date on demand. We are so happy that you can be with us either this morning, depending upon your time zone, or this afternoon. So thank you for being on. This is going to be a delightful webinar. We are so happy to have Dr. Patti Bartsch, who's a fantastic Pulse PMF practitioner, teach us a little bit about how to rock out our open houses, which we know is so important. So Patty's on the line now. Thank you so much for being on.
My pleasure.
And most of you already know me, so there's a little description if you want to read through my background, but I won't bore you with the details. But I do oversee our training and development here for Pulse Equine. I'm going to get to the lady of the hour, which again is Dr. Patti Bartsch. She is the owner of Naturally Unbridled Wellness Holistic Therapy Center. She's a Pulse PMF practitioner, a traditional naturopath. She's a fabulous business coach. She does business coaching both on the human as well as the equine side. She's a terrific educator, in my opinion, a very natural educator. She's also an equine enthusiast. We just talked a little bit about the small farm she has and the collection of fantastic animals in her life. She also her practice includes a true holistic focus, offering some of the following innovative services, which are naturopathic consultations, bioenergetic assessments, thermography, evox, and of course, she's had fantastic results with Pulse PMF. So I will turn it over to Dr. Patti Bartsch.
Thanks, Janelle. I'm super excited to be here and present to you guys some of my biggest and most powerful tips for effective events and rocking your open house. So just a little bit about myself. That picture there, that's Izzy, that's my heart horse. And my slides don't want to advance. There we go. Okay, so I am a highly successful wellness practitioner and success coach for other practitioners, and am level 3 certified as an equine practitioner through Pulse Equine. I brought PMF into my wellness practice back in April of 2018, and in the first 9 months of having PMF in my practice, we did a little over $100,000 in PMF services. I now share my systems and strategies with Pulse practitioners worldwide. And Janelle had put a post in the Pulse Equine Facebook group asking if anyone had good results hosting an open house, and I chimed in that I had over 260 people attend our last open house. So I guess I was the winner, and I get to share my tips with you guys today. So what we're going to go through is the goals for attending events or having an open house, how to fill the seats and get people to attend, the toolkit that you need for an effective expo, and how to follow up after the event. And I'm going to give you some exciting next steps that you can implement after this webinar. And we did include some time today for Q&A at the end. So if you do have some questions, I know there are ways that you can submit those probably through the chat. But hang on, we are gonna rip through this. I wanted to provide you guys with a ton of value in a very short amount of time, so I think you'll be surprised at how fast I can talk. The good news is that this is being recorded, so you can rewind and replay at a later date. So let's talk about the goals for having an open house or any kind of event. I want people to understand that your goal is more about creating prospects than getting clients. I'll talk to practitioners who tell me that they were frustrated because they didn't get any clients out of their event or their open house. And I want them to understand, I want you to understand that these types of events are more about creating prospects, making connections, and educating than they are about getting people to sign up right there, right then. It is awesome when that happens, and we all love that, and we love people with a short sales cycle who are ready to make decisions right away, but a lot of people need to process things and do some background work. So just remember that the goal is to create prospects and get people in your world and in your loop so you can funnel them into your services at some point, hopefully soon. And then you want to take those prospects and convert them to clients. And there's a process for that as well. But fundamentally, what you want to be happening at these live events is you want to be educating, educating, educating. You want to let people know about PEMF, what it is, and when it might be a good choice for them and or their horse. So you're really talking about the benefits and outcomes of PEMF versus this is how much it is for an appointment. That comes after they want to try it. And again, you're creating a funnel to bring people into your world. So you think about a funnel, people are going to start at the top and they're going to be buzzing around there for a little bit. And then you're going to have various touch points that you're going to keep in touch and keep in contact with them over time as they move their way down the funnel and into your client base. So some people will rip through the funnel and go right in and they're going to sign up to be your client. We love those people. And other people are going to just like roll around the rim for a while before they're ready to fall in. Love them all. I have had people who tell me that they've been following me on Facebook for 6 years before they made an appointment. So this is a process. So how do you fill the seats? This is an event that I did it was in October for breast health. And I talked about natural breast health as a former cancer researcher. I have a strong background in that. And then we brought in a thermographer. So one of the great ways to help fill the seats is to create a strategic alliance and partner with other people in your industry and then have them share the promotion of the event so that they're bringing people into your seats and helping you to have more exposure and build a bigger funnel. So this was a Wine, Women, and Wellness event that we did for breast health. And then another event that I did, I partnered actually with a financial planner, and we called that event Healthy, Wealthy, and Wine. So I always like to say, if you have wine, the women are coming. So, you know, if you do something after work, it's a good time. And if you're giving away a free glass of wine, women will definitely be interested in coming to hear what you say. So we used to do what we call Wine, Women, and Wellness nights, which were, you know, when we would have a focused presentation. As I said, I liked to partner with at least one other presenter. So we would split the night up with 2 presentations. We would actually have other people who would come and have tables at our event to promote their services as well, and we would cross promote. So with this postcard, what we did, we had these mass printed. I don't know if I printed like 1,000 or something, inexpensively, you know, pennies a piece. And we were having some really important information on there. So a catchy title is important, right? You want to have your sexy title that people are going to open their eyes and go, oh, that sounds like fun, or that sounds really interesting. So for you guys, I was thinking something like Horse Health Happy Hour could be a fun and exciting title for your event. Like I said, I've also done Healthy, Wealthy, and Wine, and there's a lot of ways that you can get people to go, that sounds fun, that sounds interesting, I want to do that. Obviously, you want to make sure you have the date and time, sponsored by yourself, or so your business name, the location of where it's going to be, and then the title of any presentation that you're going to be giving. So if you're not doing a presentation, if it's just an open house, you might put free PEMF demonstrations or sample sessions or something like that. You'll also see that I have an RSVP section on here that we wanted people to confirm that they were coming. Yes, seats were limited, but also we wanted to make sure that we could remind these people, hey, remember that event you signed up for 2 weeks ago? Well, it's tomorrow. Are you still planning on coming? And then you see at the bottom, door prizes, refreshments, presentation, and special offers. So door prizes are super exciting, and they're a good magnet to get people to come in. And you don't have to buy them all. You can partner with other people in your industry and ask them to donate in exchange for some promotion. Definitely have refreshments, have some water available, definitely wine. And I don't think you need to feed people a meal, but you definitely want people to have a snack because people can't focus if they're super hungry. So a little cheese tray, a veggie tray, something like that. Have a great presentation to educate, educate, educate. You'll hear me say that word a lot because I think it's the key to a successful business. And then you want to make a special offer. So let's talk about some of the ways to get the seats filled. Again, you don't have to do all of these. these, but definitely do a combination. So these postcards were really successful, and we did mail some out to our existing client base, but we also left them at strategic locations. We put them in the bags of product that we were sending out the door. You want to give them with your clients. So for you guys, you could certainly give a stack to the farrier, to the veterinarian, to the feed store, to a trainer at a barn that has 30 horses in it, and maybe another 60 riding lesson students. Leave them a stack. So you want to make sure that you're not just dropping them in unstrategic locations. You want to make sure that you're asking people to help promote your event. And in exchange, maybe you offer them the opportunity to have a table or donate a door prize to get their business promoted as well. We also have done a bring a friend promo. So if people come to our open house and they bring a friend, they each get an extra door prize ticket. So they double their chance of winning something cool. So we have always encouraged people to bring a friend. The great thing about door prizes, you can certainly donate 1 or 2 door prizes, a gift certificate, a wine basket, a tea basket, something like that, but get other practices, other businesses to donate as well. So feed store, veterinarian, farrier, equine chiropractor, whatever other equine related professionals that are in your area, ask them to donate a door prize so that they can get promoted and you have more things to give away to make people happy. You're going to leave the postcards at key locations. Remember, you want to be strategic about that. Don't just drop them all over the place. And if you do belong to any kind of networking group, whether it's an association or just a small local networking group, or you have a nice little cohort of professionals that you network and refer back and forth with, make sure that you're incorporating those people and helping you to promote your event as well. You definitely want to create a Facebook event on your business page. So go into Facebook, go to your business page, click on events, create event, and you're going to put all the details of what you're seeing here on this postcard. You're going to put that in your Facebook event and have people so people will click on the Facebook event and say they're attending. You'll need to private message those people and make sure that they're actually attending, because they don't really mean it. You want to follow up with them with a personal message and just say, hey, I saw that you clicked that you're going to be attending the open house event that we're having, and we have limited seating, so I wanted to make sure that you're planning on being there physically, not just following the event on the Facebook group. So definitely follow up with that. Also, if you're going to partner with other professionals in the industry, add their businesses as a co-host of your Facebook event so that it's showing up on their Facebook page and being exposed to their followers as well. Leverage, leverage, leverage. If you're doing a newsletter, an electronic newsletter to people, definitely put it in there with a link to either the Facebook event or some other way to register, maybe your email address, something like that. But that's important to keep those people that are somewhere in your funnel aware that here's another opportunity to learn more from me, get a free glass of wine, some snacks, and possibly win a door prize. Put it out there that space is limited, because legitimately it is, right? And it'd be a great problem to have if you didn't have enough chairs, but nobody likes to have to stand through a presentation. So let people know that space is limited, so that actually inspires people to save their spot. And as labor intensive as it is, it's critically important that you follow up with a reminder call. So you want to make sure that you are just calling these people or emailing or texting. We have a lot of technology available, but I have always had my receptionist just call and just remind them, hey, that event is tomorrow night. Just want to make sure you're planning on coming, and are you bringing a friend? Because we'll reserve a seat for them as well, and then you'll both have an opportunity for additional door prizes. A lot of communities have the opportunity for you to post events on their community calendar. They love to do this because if you have a lot of stuff going on in the community, then people want to live there, right? So they like to promote their community by saying lots of cool stuff happens here. Look at our calendar. So sometimes you can do that through the Chamber of Commerce or the the Convention and Visitors Bureau, or there might just be a town or city community calendar that you can find and post your event on. Sometimes you actually need a lot of lead time for that because they do it way in advance, but check into that because it's typically free. All right, once you have your event, what are the tools that you need to make that event successful once you get all these people to come? So you want to invest in professionally created signage, banner, or tablecloth. All of the above is great, but if you can only do one, just do something that is professional. I always cringe a little when I go to an event and somebody made their own poster board. I completely respect budget, and like some people are crafty, but you want to really represent a strong brand. And one of my friends that owns a sign company would say a good business sign is a sign of good business. So you definitely want to be putting out a really good and professional vibe. So invest in something that looks logoed and professional. If you're doing an event that has booths, like some kind of expo or something like that, you want to aim for a key booth location. I'll typically try to sign up right away because sometimes you get to pick your location, and I want to be very close to the entrance, or if that's not available, in the entrance and to the right, because people naturally, at least in the US, turn to the right. And then even if that's not available, it's never a bad idea to be close to the bathrooms because a lot of traffic heads that way. Oh, bring extra lighting. The eye is drawn to light. So you want to make sure that your booth or your sign up table or whatever it is that you have has some additional lighting that will draw the eye, which means you're going to need an extension cord and a power strip. But the thing is, the eye follows light and the body follows the eye. So you definitely want to have some lights available, and a little blinking white Christmas light might not be a bad idea because motion also attracts the eye. If you have the opportunity to be a presenter, you definitely want to do that. It's so valuable. So speak, present, and demonstrate your services anytime and every time you have the opportunity. It's the best way to get people into your client funnel. Now, when you have a booth, you want to make the experience interactive. Oh my gosh, when I go to these events and people just have all kinds of brochures laid out on their table and a candy jar. That drives me crazy. You want to be interacting with people. You want to start making a connection and start building a relationship. So ways you can do that. A short demo of PMF, that is at the top of the list. It's such a powerful thing to do, is have a short little demonstration so they can experience the technology. Maybe give a quick survey. Maybe you're going to give a quiz like, which of the following can PEMF help with? Now, remember, we're not going to make claims, so be careful about what you're saying. Don't name any specific diseases or anything like that. But I typically say less pain, better sleep, clearer thinking, improved mood, increased range of motion, faster recovery, increased performance times, and those sorts of things. You can have a drawing for something good. So if you're going to be giving something away, it doesn't have to be a session, okay? Sometimes people think I have to give away my time, I have to give away my technology. You can do that. That's okay to do a one-off for a special event like that. But you could do a drawing for a bottle of wine, okay? There's a theme here. Okay, but what you're going to do is you're using this for a tool to collect contact information. So you want to collect their name, their email address, and their cell phone number. Some people will be hesitant to give you that, but then you can say, well, how am I going to contact you if you win? But what I've learned is not just the email address, because many times I've had a very solid prospect not write legibly on their email address, and to be able to have their number to text them, say, hey, I was just about to send you something, and I can't tell if that's a 1 or a 0 in your email. Could you please clarify? And then you can follow up with them that way. So definitely harvest contact information. Here are some event no-nos that you don't want to do at events. Don't sit down, okay? So when you're sitting down, people automatically don't want to disturb you. So when I go to an event and I see two people sitting in chairs behind a table, I can tell you that the event is going to be a dud for them. You need to be standing, and you don't want to be standing behind the table. So if you have the table towards the front of the booth, that's okay. You're going to be standing though in the walkway. Maybe push the table back towards the middle or back of the booth. I like the back because then people can come in and they're not feeling like people are trying to get by them. You know, you really do create a log jam if you have things too close to the walkway at a live event. So you want to push your table to the back so people can come in your booth, and then it's a lot more relaxed for you to have a conversation with them. So stand in front of the table and don't sit down unless it's dead and you need a little break. Okay, don't ask yes or no questions. So one of the things people will do is say things like, have you heard of PEMF? Have you tried PEMF? That's a yes or no question. They can say that word and walk by. You'd be better off to ask things like, what do you know about PEMF? Do you know the number one reason why people have their horses get PEMF therapy? Or not do you know, but what do you think the number one reason people get PEMF for their horses is? And then from your experience, I don't know what it is. You tell me. I like to say, don't literature everywhere, right? Do not leave expensive brochures, business cards, that stuff all over the place. Anybody who's going to get a brochure from you has to earn it through a short conversation. You have to make sure that they're actually interested, because you're going to just be handing them a brochure that you paid for. It's going to go in their bag, and when they get home, it's going to go in the recycling. They're not even going to read it. They're only going to read it if you've intrigued them enough through a conversation, through a presentation, through a demonstration, to get them to want to know a little more. So someone has to earn their way to get a brochure or a business card from you. Don't forget, when you're doing live events, about your vendor neighbors. I have tons of clients who were vendors at other booths. What they got to hear during the day while they're sitting behind their table and I'm busy talking to people because I'm standing up in the front, they're getting to hear me talk over and over and over about the benefits and features and outcomes of my services. And so they get intrigued and they come and talk to me. So don't forget about offering to give a little demo for your vendor neighbors, especially if the event is slow. And then you definitely don't want to spend too much time with any one person. I call these people vampires, right? Because they're going to suck up all your time and energy, and it's going to prevent you from being able to talk to other people. Remember, live events is about quantity over quality. You want to have a little short interaction with as many people as possible. So you'll have someone, typically a little lonely person, maybe a little older, lives alone, a lot of cats, who knows. You want to make sure that those people aren't just really enjoying a conversation with you when they may not be a prospective client. So find your way out of those conversations so that you can talk to as many people as possible. And don't dress too casually. Remember, you are your brand. You want to represent. So maybe you have a logoed jersey or a logoed vest or jacket, depending on the weather. All right, you want to make sure that you're just looking professionally. Don't wear a t-shirt unless it's a branded t-shirt, okay? Definitely market your brand. And I like to say, you can't sell a dream if you look like a nightmare. All right, here are other mistakes that people tend to make. So many practitioners spend a lot of time and money investing in expos and vendor booths with little or no return on investment. That is a tragedy as far as I'm concerned. So what happens is, they've spent a lot of money on the booth, they've bought a banner, they got a logoed shirt, and then they're not getting clients from it because they're not doing a few key things that we touched on earlier in this presentation. They struggle to get people to stop at their booth by not asking the right questions. They ask the wrong questions. They say the wrong things. And a big mistake is giving away expensive promotional items to people who aren't qualified prospects. I call these people trick or treaters. They're just looking for free stuff. They're not interested in your services. And that can be depressing, demotivating, and even degrading. So you want to collect contact information by a drawing or a giveaway, short sample sessions, having a registration table where when people show up, they have to give their name, their email, their phone number in exchange for their drink ticket or their drawing ticket. The PEMF waiver is a great way to harvest that information. Read it back to them to make sure you can read their writing, and use a sample session to educate them about PEMF and tell them about your special offer. The fortune is in the follow-up. You're going to send a thank you email within 24 hours. Thank you for stopping by my booth. Thank you for coming to the open house. Here's my time-sensitive, irresistible offer, along with the free fact sheet, checklist, or report that I promised you. Make it time sensitive and really irresistible, and a coupon code if you have the availability to offer online scheduling. And then you can also say, if you don't have that, just say reference this email for the discount. So if you loved these nuggets today, I've got more for you in a free webinar called Discover the Secrets to Building a Successful Equine PEMF Practice Without Wasting Money, Reinventing the Wheel, and Doing Things the Wrong Way. That can be found at equinepemfsuccess.com. And I do have a new coaching cohort starting in August 1st, actually, with a kickoff call, and then the program starts on August 6th. So those of you who are listening to this in real time or close to it have the opportunity to watch that free webinar and then potentially sign up for the program. So I'll kick it back to you, Janelle.
Thank you, Dr. Bartsch. That was absolutely fantastic, insightful. I loved the energy. So truly appreciate you teaching our practitioners and facilitating our learning today.
My pleasure.
So we do have a couple questions that are
Okay.
coming in. So if you'd be so kind to answer them, that would be
Absolutely.
much appreciated. So the first one is a great question, is you talk about making sure that you engage with pretty much all of the people that come to the open house. So having quick conversations can be somewhat difficult, and we talk about having a very concise elevator speech when you can showcase what PEMF actually is and could potentially do to help the quality of life for them. So what is your elevator speech or your couple minute go-to for what PEMF is?
Oh, great question. One of my favorite ways to do this is during a demonstration session. So give the person the opportunity to sit in the pulse chair, or even just hold the paddles on a part of their body that they're having a challenge with. And then I tell them, so what PEMF does is this device is generating an electron field that's coming off of this chair or paddles. And the weakest cells in your body are harvesting up those electrons so that they can function more optimally. So it helps with nutrient uptake, hydration, circulation, detoxification, all the things that a healthy cell can do. When someone is in the chair and they're having the experience of PEMF, I'll ask them, where are you feeling it? And they'll tell me, and I'll go, well, that's interesting, because the weakest cells in your body are going to be the ones to harvest up the electrons first. So I use the analogy that it's like, since energy flows like water, PEMF is sort of like running the hose down the driveway. So the water or the electrons are going to settle in the lowest areas first, right? They're going to fill up the potholes. So if you're feeling the energy in a specific area, you can assume that those are weaker cells that need electrons more. And just like the water fills up the pothole and it starts to overflow, after a while, you'll stop feeling it in that area, and it's going to flow into another area that needs the electrons. So, just give them a little explanation of what they are feeling, and then, of course, give them the opportunity to ask questions.
Fantastic. Thank you for that.
Sure.
And also, you make a very good point about asking open-ended questions. Sometimes that can be a little harder than we think. So there's a question about if you could kindly give us one or two examples of really robust open-ended questions at events to help advance business relationships.
Yeah, so the greatest question to lead with is, what do you know about PEMF? Because that's going to give you the opportunity to either start giving them knowledge about PEMF, build on their knowledge about PEMF, or most importantly, correct their knowledge about PEMF. Okay, so that's a really great, what do you know about PEMF? Nothing. Then you can say, did you know that PEMF is used XYZ for, increasing performance, relieving inflammation, improving circulation, and depending on the event you're at, you can really target what you're saying. So if it's at a barrel racing event, you talk about faster times. If it's at a hunter jumper event, you talk about clearing fences and not having knockdowns. So you talk about the outcomes that people or animals will get from PEMF versus like all of the Gauss stuff, which I never ever get into.
Fantastic. Thank you for that.
Sure.
And we'll do one more question here. This is a really good one. So you talk about short samples or demo sessions, which are fantastic. The question is twofold. One is, how long do you typically offer a session? And also, how do you know how to approach it or what placements to demo?
Okay, great question. So at a live event where there's lots of people that will have the opportunity to experience the technology, I'm going to give them 5 to 10 minutes. So 5 minutes is for someone that I can tell they're not going to be a good prospect. You just get the vibe, right? Someone is a trick-or-treater. They're just wanting something for free, and they're not really interested in your services or the amazing outcomes that PEMF can create. But if somebody is a viable prospect and they could potentially become a client, I'm going to give them anywhere from 7 to 10 minutes of time in the chair. And I'm going to tell them, like, look, a normal session is an hour. This is sort of like licking a vitamin. It's a little bit of a really good thing, but you're probably going to need the whole vitamin. So I'll give them 7 to 10 minutes, and most of the time I'm interacting with them. I'm giving them some quiet time to like just be in the moment and receive the technology and see what it's like. But I'm asking questions about, where are you feeling it now? Do you have issues there? Blah blah blah. Having conversations, making connections, even personal things like, oh, where do you live? And then as far as placement, I prefer to just put all people in the chair. And if you have the XL Pro, setting it at the 7.8 Happy Zap frequency is always good. But I think the chair is a great way for people to experience the technology. But I have had people that they have a really specific area of interest. So I might use the paddles on their head, on their shoulder, their knee, whatever the case may be. But the chair is really easy because you can just get a minute and start talking, hand them a brochure, have a conversation versus moving accessories around.
Absolutely. Thank you very much for that.
Sure thing.
Okay, so that's all the time we have for questions. So again, I want to thank you so much, Dr. Patti Bartsch, for facilitating this today. You've done an absolutely fantastic job, and you do a brilliant job in coaching both our human and our equine practitioners and overseeing the equine side of our business. I really, really appreciate what you're doing to help our practitioners be successful.
It's truly my pleasure. And besides that, it's a total blast.
It is pretty fun. We have really amazing customers.
Yeah.
So we truly appreciate that so very much. And I've just found you on a personal level to be a fantastic and lovely person.
Right back at you, girlfriend.
Thank you. And for all of the practitioners participating, listening on live today or on demand, thank you so much for engaging and taking the initiative to learn more and to really own your business and become more business savvy. So please make sure that you check back soon for our August webinar that's going to be with Michelle Heyman. Many of you know her as a equine practitioner. She is also a very lovely person and super knowledgeable. So we're looking forward to that. The topic is going to be targeting tissue types, choosing the best magnetic field strength while maintaining animal comfort, which is very important. So we'll be looking forward to that. And please make sure that you stay engaged with us on our private practitioner page. It's such a wonderful resource. If you do need help, I'm available. Our Pulse Equine team is available to you. You can email us, you can chat. I don't always see your chats, but you can try to chat me. And also during our office hours, Monday through Friday from 8 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. Eastern time, we're available for you. Also, please make sure to stay connected with us on our public Pulse Equine Facebook page, Twitter, YouTube, and Instagram. So on behalf of Pulse Equine, our senior leadership team, we greatly appreciate you being on today. We're so thankful for all of our customers and for the well-being you're helping to increase with all of the horses that we love so dearly. So thank you very much. And this concludes our webinar today. Take care, everyone.
Bye. Thank you.